What's happening, guys? This is Logan Robinson from here, the Cannons and BucsGameday.com. And the Bucs are officially 5-1, taking down the San Francisco 49ers 30 to 19. The Bucs are on a roll right now, and what a game. Explosive plays all across the board, big plays being made from your defense. And talk about backups having to step up. That's exactly what happened in Raymond James Stadium this Sunday afternoon. With me is River Wells, our lead editor at BucsGameday.com. River, what a game it was. We got fans and everybody here. We got the music blasting. It's good vibes in Tampa, and they are vying for the number one spot in the NFC.
Yeah, music's definitely blasting here, but number one spot in the NFC. They're 5-1. They play probably the most complete football they have played all season long, which is really good. Won it by 11 points. No fourth quarter heroics this time. They just got the job done, right? So there's still some problems, some things to fix, but I mean, out their top four receivers, out the secondary, you have to give them credit for the gritty wins that they're getting so far this season.
Yeah, this is not a team that will go out and just give up just depending on what happens in the game. They do not do that. They show a lot of fight. They're focused and a lot of discipline as well. Beginning at the very beginning of this game, practically with Fred Warner going down, which was a brutal hit to the 49ers and just tough overall. Earlier in the week, when we were hearing from Baker Mayfield, Todd Bowles, they talked about such of how much of an impact Fred Warner is to that 49ers defense. So losing him certainly hurt San Francisco, and hopefully thoughts and prayers with him that he can get back to a speedy recovery and get back fully healthy, because that looked like a very scary injury. But moving over to what the Bucs offense was able to do, when I said backups earlier, you're talking about rookies as well, like a guy like Tez Johnson. What a shot that was from Baker Mayfield, River.
Yeah, the Johnson Johnson combo they call it. Tez Johnson and Cam Johnson. Cameron Johnson coming in. He was at the Bucs last year, was injured, but now he's back this year as a returner, but had to step up as a wide receiver, and he came up big, 4 catches, 64 yards. Tez Johnson, right over there, that bomb that he caught in the end zone to open up the game and really strike and give the team the lead that they were looking for. So crazy to see that all these players, outside the core four, which are injured with the Mecca Buka out with a hamstring injury. We don't know how long that's going to be, but I mean, just how everyone stepped up. Sterling Shepard, Cam Johnson, Tez Johnson, Ryan Miller having to play out there and being able to do so just attests the depth that Jason Light has built and the team that he's made to where you can be 5-1 with all of your skill position players not starting, by the way, which is unbelievable. Two outside corners in the secondary gone. Also unbelievable. Coming into this game against a top NFC team, coming out with a win, 5-1. It just shows the depth on this team. It shows the will and fight on this team, and they just keep finding ways to make it happen, man. And this game, winning by 11, they played the most complimentary football they have been, even down all those players. Really impressive.
Yeah, it goes to show too what Josh Grizzard and the early success you're finding here. And we saw Grizzard leaving the tunnel there, and he's all smiles and everything, as he should be. I mean, the fact that we were questioning going into the season, River, of how he was going to deal with Chris Godwin not being able to play to begin the season, Tristan Wirfs as well to begin the season. But week by week, it just has continued to be worse for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I don't know, we've got yelling going on up in the box. I mean, I don't know if anybody's going to actually leave the stadium. But nonetheless, Josh Grizzard has been in his groove. And now, I mean, I was up in the press box. I don't know about you, River, but I immediately start thinking, oh my goodness gracious, this guy is going to be gone, one and done once again. And he's going to join guys like Liam Cohen and Dave Canales. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous of how successful this offense is. And it goes to show the coaching. Baker Mayfield, Todd Bowles mentioned that today, and in the post game mentioned how well all of that has come together with coaching. Good coaching and discipline has all come together nicely.
Thank you. There's a German person, it looks like, shouting here. Bucks are big in Germany, guys. Yeah, it really just goes to show that he's making the most of what he has, just not a lot, and being able to be four wide receivers down and still finding ways to free them and finding ways to get them open. It's been pretty impressive. The run game, Rashad White still busting off the runs that he needs and picking up those crucial first downs the Buccaneers are needing. He's still playing great. And, I mean, what can we say about Baker Mayfield, guys? You heard MVP, MVP out here in the stands. And right now, with what he has to work with and the value that he offers to Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense, it's hard to say that he's not the MVP in the NFL right now. Right now, he said it. He told us it's week 6, slow down on that sort of thing, and that makes sense. But I mean, guys like Josh Allen, right? Guys like Baker Mayfield, those are the guys that are front running this MVP conversation for good reason. That sack escape on 3rd and 14 is just more of what Baker Mayfield is used to doing, and man, just crazy what he's been able to do with this offense and this team.
I'm telling you, like the comment on here, that scramble was amazing. It was effing awesome. It was effing awesome. I mean,
Absolutely. What else
he
can
should
you
have been
say,
taken.
man?
He should have been taken down. He should have been taken down. He had 2 defenders on him in the backfield. He should have been taken down there, but he does what we've been seeing him do since he arrived in Tampa. He's a guy that has wheels, and you don't think of him that way. You think of guys like that, like Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson and such. But when it comes down to it, in 3rd and 14, the way that he's able to get down the field and extend. He not only had to get the line, he had to extend the ball as well. I mean, that is an MVP type run there from your starting quarterback. And this team plays very hard for him. They love the guy. This offensive line fights for him. And, after he had that run, he had to let the defense know a little bit too as well. He's been doing the last couple of weeks because once you get a fired up Baker Mayfield, that's the best Baker that you
You
want.
can't stop him. You can't stop him.
No, you surely can. And today it was not being stopped. Now, going over to also the defensive side of the ball, there was some big time plays being made. Shout out to Jamel Dean. He caught it again. He caught it
He
again and got
did.
his first career sack, River. First career sack. Big day for Jamel Dean.
Don't make a scene, guys, but Jamel Dean got it done. He got a sack. Todd Bowles joked it's up there with the Mike Evans 1,000-yard catch from last year as one of the greatest Buccaneers plays of all time. Uh, Todd loves messing with Jamel Dean. They have a really good relationship. But, man, winning the turnover battle is pretty big, in that instance, getting those 2 interceptions. Kendall Vildor had one at the very beginning of the game that put the Bucs up 7-0. Could have been a pick 6, but, man, did he stumble around there and not find his footing. But thankfully, Rashad White able to cash that one in. Mac Jones had a lot of yards. He was able to dice up the defense for a good majority of the game, I thought. Pass rush didn't really look great from the edge rushers, but towards that end of the game there, into that 4th quarter, the middle kind of broke open, and you got guys like C.J. Brewer getting sacks, guys like Elijah Roberts, who's been fantastic for the Bucs as a rookie, a low-round pick, contributing immediately once his name was called. Really good stuff there. That bend don't break sort of Todd Bowles mentality came into full effect today. I think they do got to tighten up on defense. They let up 1 red zone touchdown and stopped another. Pretty big deal for them because they've been having a lot of trouble with the red zone defense, guys. But they managed to fix that towards the end of the game, win the turnover battle, get the stops they needed, especially towards the end, and that's a complete game of football. So, man, the wind is really doing a number on my hair right now. But
You
yeah.
check out the hair. Holy moly. That is incredible. I had to screenshot that. That is amazing.
Oh, great. Fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, we got that screenshot. Don't worry about it. No one's safe around here. But yeah, the defense, they've got some things to fix, some things to clean up. They had some good pressure there, I thought, from the pass rush early on in the game. Then it went silent on you, as we've seen kind of throughout the season for the Bucs. And then, like you said, it picked up some steam there at the end. I think too, I thought it wasn't a funny moment at all until after the game when Todd Bowles was able to smile about it. But I asked him about the Vita Vea running into the punter. First off, you would never think that Vita Vea is getting back there to the punter in time to block a kick. You would be my last guess on that happening, who that would be. But Vita Vea runs into the punter, gets flagged there, and I asked, I saw them conversating on the sideline, and Todd Bowles said it wouldn't be safe, not safe for work, kind of things to say here in front of the microphone. But since they won the game, it was a lot easier to talk to him about it afterward. But some things to clean up and such like that, some penalties. But for the most part, the Bucs did what they needed to. I thought Sebastian Dennis had a good game as well because for the most part, he had a big time job of keeping an eye on McCaffrey because Christian McCaffrey, he hasn't been the biggest rushing threat for the 49ers this year. He's been a big time in the receiving corps because they've been so limited, River. But I thought Sebastian Dennis, after a pretty rough start to the season, to say the least, I thought for this game alone, for what he had to do, was pretty well.
He did, yeah. The 49ers came into this game with the most passes to a running back in the NFL. Almost 34% of their pass plays went to a running back, which is crazy. But the Bucs did a great job keying in on Christian McCaffrey, Servastier Dennis, making sure to follow him pretty well, stopping him in the run and the pass game. Definitely, I think his best game as a Buccaneer so far. Exactly what he needed to do, and that was going to be a big part of the game plan of the Buccaneers defense, and they did it. You know, they managed to hold him to as much as you can hold Christian McCaffrey. He got in the end
Yeah.
zone, but you can let that happen, and ended up winning by 2 scores, getting it done, and moving to 5-1 against a pretty good team. Injured team like the Bucs, but man, do they have a big test tomorrow, or not tomorrow, next week on
Holy crap.
Monday. They're going
No
right into
breaks.
it. They're going right into it. Now,
No
big
breaks.
test next week against the Detroit Lions, who arguably are the NFL's best football team, comparable to a team like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So that'll be a sparks flying on Monday Night Football.
That's a big game tonight. That begins in just about 10 minutes. And that's in Detroit, correct? Am I right on that? Is that at Detroit or is that in?
I am unsure. I'm unsure.
Someone in the chat, let us know. That's why we have the chat here, because we're supposed to be our AI in here. But no, I mean, that's going to be a gigantic game. We've seen the Bucs where they've had to go on the road up to Detroit as a hostile environment, but we've seen where this team feeds off of that. But it'd be very nice if they can get some guys coming back. I mean, I was talking with you guys up in the press box. Imagine Mike Evans now coming back with this offense and how much you could do there. You've been without Bucky Irving as well, which certainly hurts you. You don't know yet with the severity or how close Luke Gedeke could be back for you there at the offensive line. So the cavalry could make its return here very soon, and this offense could get even scarier. It's been very impressive to see some of those guys that we saw today step up and the depth chart and the two deep. We saw that in training camp, though, River. I mean, for all of you that were watching after all of our reactions to every single day of practice, we talked about this wide receiver room. We talked about all of these guys that were making plays, making flashes, and they were usually your two deep guy, your three deep guys. Cameron Johnson making his first catch today ended up being a touchdown. He made another big time catch as well. You know, Baker Mayfield giving him his flowers. It just goes to show the good coaching that they have, and also to Josh Gazard putting these guys in the right positions. And shout out to the position coaches as well. They've done a great job on that offensive side of the ball.
Absolutely. Really gritty win. They keep finding a way to make it happen. They played probably one of their best games, if not their best game, I think, today. Down so many players. They're only going to get healthier. And when they get healthier, that opens up the playbook. It opens up coaching. It allows them to do a lot of things that they're not, able to do right now. And yeah, we got Felix Flores here on Facebook saying, I hope Emeka Ibuka's hamstring is something serious. Hamstrings typically are lingering, unfortunately. I mean, he was doubtful to return, not out immediately, so that might be a good thing, but typically those are long-standing injuries, so hopefully nothing too serious like you mentioned. If you can get Mike Evans and Emeka Egbuka back as soon as possible, you're cooking.
Yeah, no, you are. And also, too, an update on I asked Todd Bowles about Luke Haggard that also went down to right guard for the Bucs. Shoulder injury. Saw him in the locker room in a sling as well. It's something that we'll monitor, and we'll get an update from Todd Bowles likely tomorrow during that presser. But something to evaluate. Elijah Klein stepped in there for him, so we'll see what happens and if that with the offensive line moving forward with Haggard, and see what the severity is of that. But yeah, we'll have a lot of preview for you between the Bucs and Detroit. That game is going to be next Monday night. So going to be a big time game there, and a really, really impressive one all across the board, offensively, defensively, special teams. Yeah, I would say that it was pretty all across the board. Some big time plays being made when you needed them against a really well coached 49ers team. So that's going to do it for us here in Raymond James Stadium. The guys will be live for you guys on Wednesday evening, previewing that Bucs Detroit game. Y'all have a great rest of y'all's Sunday evening and a great start to y'all's week next week. We're out of here.
Fire the cannons.
Fire those mother.